section, but it's super important. If you're a home cook and you haven't learned these skills, it's something to really think about. So we're going to cover cross-contamination. Like when you're preparing chicken, what do you do with all that, and the cutting board and the knives and the cooking area and where your working area, to make sure that you don't spread a bacteria or salmonella to other things while you're cooking. So in the end, you end up eating the food that has been cross-contaminated with raw chicken or something like that. We're also going to talk about cooking temperatures. What's a safe food temperature to cook your food to? And there's two things to that. Not only are we looking to make sure we cook it thoroughly enough so we don't eat something that's raw and get sick, but we also want to focus on cooking to the right temperature, because in this course we're trying to build flavor, right? I'm trying to help you be a better home cook. And one of the most important parts of that is cooking food to the right temperature so it's still juicy and has a ton of flavor. We're also going to talk about what it means to wash your food. Should you be washing your vegetables and fruit? Should you be washing chicken or beef before you cook it? These things are really important to talk about, and we're going to talk about washing your food. And then finally, we're talking about cooling and storage of food. This is food that's already been cooked, or it's food that we haven't actually cooked yet or prepared yet. What are the best practices for that? I'm also going to have some great resources in there and some downloadables and printables that you can keep on, say, on your fridge, like cooking temperatures, so you always know what a safe temperature is for the food that you're cooking. So let's jump into it. So this lesson in food safety, we're talking about cross-contamination, right? It's really important to start thinking about what you're touching in your kitchen and while you're moving around in your kitchen. If your hands are clean, the utensils that you're using are clean, super important. So let's just start off with like washing our hands, right? Let's start there. Who knows what you've been doing that day? It's really important to wash your hands. Hot soapy water, 20 seconds or whatever it takes, and use hot soapy water. Using Purell or any of those hand sanitizers is not washing your hands. So hot soapy water, wash your hands. We got that one out of the way. Now we're preparing chicken, say. You got that raw bird, you're cutting it up, you got the potential of salmonella with raw chicken, right? So any of those utensils, the knife that you were using, that cutting board, the surface area maybe where you were preparing that chicken to cook, could be contaminated with liquid from the bird, okay? So what we want to do is prepare the chicken, put it on its own plate or whatever, or its own cutting board that's strictly for that chicken at the time, and then get your work area clean again. So prep, get everything out of the way. You can either put it completely out of the kitchen, like on the table or something, so you could just keep going with what you're doing, or you want to just separate it completely and just wash it, okay? But that's one other thing you got to consider too. If you take a cutting board and knife that has raw chicken and you bring it over to your sink to start cooking, start washing it, if the area around your sink, when you start using the water, it hits those surfaces and splatters, right? So that's something to consider. Raw chicken is probably the biggest one that we're going to worry about when we're thinking about cross-contamination. So sometimes I'll actually, if I'm preparing chicken, I have a knife I use mostly when I'm cutting up a bird, and I'll prepare it on a cutting board, do everything I got to do, and then I put that completely out of the way for the whole rest of the cooking. Obviously throw the scraps in the trash, put everything out of the way, clean my surface area, and now I'm back in business, right? I'm ready to cook again. Now typically the biggest offenders are meats and meat, poultry, stuff like that you're worried about getting in other different places. So keep those separate from your vegetables when you're preparing. You don't want to prep food on a cutting board. You can't prepare chicken on this cutting board and then grab an onion and start cutting up the onion. Yes, you could cook those together essentially, I guess, but you have to worry about taking those onions now. Like, it's not just onion, it's raw chicken. Don't be afraid to touch raw chicken or anything like that as long as you wash your hands after. Just think about when you're prepping. When I think of cross-contamination too of food and stuff, I think one people don't think about is, say you had a frying pan, right? And you prepared some raw chicken and you're about to cook it in this frying pan. And you grab these tongs and you're grabbing your raw meat and you're putting it into the pan, okay? Now you're using these tongs to cook, but you think you have them in the heat. But if you had a bunch of raw chicken or it was in a marinade, say, that could have got up the tong. And that doesn't get heat, it doesn't get a lot of heat and cook. So there's an opportunity to get cross-contamination with that liquid there. So what I like to do is whenever I'm cooking, say, chicken, I'm using something to get it in the pan, and then I'm done with that. That goes in the sink. Or I'll do it for that one first flip, and then I know whatever I'm flipping and whatever in here is hot enough that's killing any salmonella, bacteria, whatever that can give you a foodborne illness. So yeah, I'll have 2 pairs of tongs, and the other ones are more for the serving or the final preparing of the food that I'm cooking. So washing food, when it comes down to food safety, in this section of the course, it's like, I want to go over some of the best practices. So one good resource is called foodsafety.gov. If you Google that, I'll leave a link to it down below, but it's a great source for everything that has to do with this food safety, cross-contamination, washing your food, temperatures, things like that. So on that website, they recommend when you're talking about fruits and vegetables that you're washing, it's important to wash them, but you're just washing them under cold water and then give them a good scrub. So potatoes, like you want to get a good scrub on them to get that dirt off. Fruit, you want to wash it as best as you can with the water. They do not recommend using soaps or any like vegetable washes or anything like that. So, you know, use just cold water, give them a wash, and that's important. One thing to consider too is, like, say you're gonna cut an apple for an apple crisp or something like that, and you're only using the inside and not the skin. So you're saying, well, I don't need to worry about that. But as you peel it, if you don't wash it, you could be pushing anything that's on the outside into the food, if that makes sense, into the apple. So it's important to wash it. Same with carrots, right? So you're peeling this carrot, and you're thinking you're only going to use it in the inside, but you're peeling, you got like the peel around that had the dirt on it already, so now it's on your cutting board. We're going back to cross-contamination now, right? So just think about washing it and then go through it with the peeler. It could be difficult to wash an onion, and you can't really do that, right? So, you know, if you got really dirty onions, you might want to consider having a smaller cutting board. You cut off what you need, and like the end, the root end and stem end, and then peel off the layer till you get to a cleaner layer, and then go ahead and cut it on maybe your main cutting board, or just keep it cut on the other one. But that's something to consider. You can't really wash an onion. Another thing you can't wash is mushrooms. It's not recommended. They just absorb water instantly. You're just going to be brushing the dirt off of a mushroom. But there is also a lot of fruits and vegetables that come already, they say, washed. But you got to consider, like, you know, nowadays, like the way they're transported, and they're coming from some other part of the world by now. They travel a long way, and they could have been contaminated with all kinds of things. So you might want to consider washing your fruits and vegetables. Now, when it comes to washing, say, chicken or washing beef, it's not recommended, right? These things are prepared, and as long as you're buying like USDA inspected, they're all coming from a facility where these butchers are preparing the meat, and there's best practices there to make sure there's no cross-contamination and things are kept clean. And a lot of the stuff now just gets washed and all kinds of stuff. Like, if you're not buying organic chickens, these things are actually being dunked in chlorine baths of water. So that's something to consider in a whole nother thing. But meat, chicken, beef, any of that, you're not going to wash. And then when you're talking about like whole chickens or whole turkeys, like Thanksgiving's coming, right? They'll take that whole bird, drop it, they'll clean their sink, and then drop a raw chicken or a raw turkey in that sink, and then they rinse it off and wash it and scrub it. But what they're not considering, like in the last lesson that we talked about cross-contamination, that water comes off that sink, hits the chicken or that turkey, and then it just splatters. You can't really see it, but it's microscopically like just going and landing on all the surfaces in your kitchen. So whole birds too, you don't wash them anymore. It's kind of an old school thing that our parents used to do or people used to do, but it's not recommended anymore. The only meat that I do rinse off sometimes is seafood. I just tend to give that a quick rinse. A lot of times you got to pat those dry too before you cook them, but that's not as uncommon to just rinse off, say, a fillet of fish before you actually cook it.